News Radio 840 WHAS coming up on today's Louisville Real Estate Show. Static electricity nightmare. Why your house keeps shocking you and how to make it stop today. Also, buyer's Google shock. He found his private dream home plastered all over the internet. Can he legally walk away before signing? And winter survival must-haves. After the week we just have, we've got the emergency supplies you need in your home and car before the next blizzard, if you want to call it a blizzard, hits. Hi, everybody. Bob Sokoler, owner of the Sokoler team, Remax Properties. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday. We've got a great show, great folks who are with us till the top of the hour. Among them, Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service. They come in as a team. They do a great job. He also owns Team Bugouts. So if you got pests hanging around, I don't mean neighbors. I'm talking about nice little, ants, things like that. Team Bugout can help you. You can reach Brad to get all that helped with at 844-411-TEAM. Also here, Chuck Crosby. He's the head guy at the Crosby Law Offices. He does a great job at getting your home loan closed, real estate closings, but he also does a variety of other things, including wills, powers of attorney, also durable powers of attorney. Listen, Chuck says if he doesn't do it, he knows someone who does. So he's a great resource. You can reach Chuck at 499-6360. Also, if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the future, there's no home too big, no home too small for me and my team. It's me, though, who comes out to talk to you and list your home. I'm your head guy to help you do it. And it's a free, no obligation phone call and visit from me. And we talk as long as you want about the process, just so you can learn what is needed to be done or that you don't have to do to get your home on the market and sold. You can reach me because I work in Louisville, surrounding counties, and Southern Indiana, 376-5483. That's 376-LIVE. Or you can go to bobsellslouisville.com and then click on the information there, fill it out, and hit submit. And also for a free no obligation estimate of what your home is worth right now, yes, or after the show, go to WeSellLouisville.com on your phone or on a computer browser. Top of the page, click on that, enter the info, hit submit, and we'll get you almost an immediate estimate from our AI computer working diligently to give you the most accurate price available. And that's just a start, of course. All right. Let's get to our questions. We'll start with Chuck Crosby on this one. Chuck, Samuel put an offer in on a house. He's planning to sign all documents the first week of December. Well, this coming week. And in this email, he says, just by chance, he punched in the address into a Google search, and he found a whole series of pictures of the home on social media, including the street view on Google, which is a good idea, by the way, for anybody who's thinking of buying a home. Put the address in a Google search and see what comes back. Samuel says he's a private person, and he does not want the publicity of his home on social media. And so he is wondering, can he back out of the contract? Is that
when
legal?
you say he's going to sign all the papers, has the contract already been signed?
Contract's been signed. He's closing on is what I said.
Yeah,
by the way, hold on. By the way, at the end of, once Chuck's done with the answer, folks, make a note. I'm going to tell you how to blur the picture of your home on Google Maps. We talked about this once before. It's very popular. We'll tell you about that in a sec. Go ahead, Chuck. What can
I
Samuel
don't think
do?
that affects the contract at all.
No.
I mean, everything's on the internet anymore.
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever put pictures up on a listing, you're going to be able to find it. Very few places that you can't do it, but I would not call that substantial in the least. And the fact that it was out there prior to him signing, this just isn't going to affect the contract in any way.
Yeah, Samuel, we get these calls as well from when we sell a home. Another buyer, the person who bought the home, may contact us. It's happened a couple of times this year and asking us to remove the pictures. Once we closed the file, which is right after closing, we don't have much access to it. And Zillow certainly won't listen to anybody that asks them to take it down. But Google will. Google can help you, folks. Yes. So if you do a Google search for your address and you open the Google Maps, the street view, chances are you're going to find your house there. Now, if you haven't asked for it to be blurred, you're going to see your house. Some people want that, some people don't. But to get it blurred, open and by the way, if you send me an email, bob@wesellouisville.com and hit go say Google blurring, I'll send you the instructions. But basically, you open Google Maps, you find your house, you drag the yellow person icon to your street and enter Street View. Click a report a problem at the bottom right side of the Google. Draw a box over your house, choose My Home as the reason, and submit with your email. Now, Google will blur it permanently, usually in a few days. Oh, I went too fast. Okay, no problem. Go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's LouisvilleAnswers.com. That is the place where this show and others reside, and you can get a replay in video and audio of the instructions. Again, bob@wesellouisville.com to get you the information via email. Okay. Brad Lawler, Home Team Inspection Service. Ira has a problem. And let me tell you, this is not just Ira's problem. A lot of people, my wife, LaDonna, pointed this out, and we were both shocked. Static electricity is running rampant. Stuff comes out of the dryer and it's clinging. So Ira and my wife LaDonna wondering what causes this, and how does she stop it, and how does he stop it?
All right. Well, tis the season for static. It's we run into static anytime the air gets drier. The air gets drier as the temperatures drop. So right now, the humidity levels in our homes are probably, if you've got a full home heating system with a humidifier in it, you're probably running around 35 to 40% relative humidity right now, and that's right on the edge of where static electricity starts building up. We don't deal with static in the summer because the air is so moist that the electrical charges are able to dissipate through the water conducts electricity, right? So that's why we don't have that in the summertime. But in the winter, the way it is, the dry air, a lot of the problems are related to the materials in our house. If you've got carpets, in your home, you're going to have a higher likelihood of having static electricity. Clothing you wear, 100% cotton is going to have less static electricity in it. Any of the synthetics that you wear, the golf slacks, all of those things are just building up additional static charges. So you got to control the humidity in the air, get it up a little bit higher, find a little bit of a source, whether it's, putting a tea kettle on like a lot of people do. Or it's also, you can do it through just the way you launder your clothes. Those dryer sheets, those fabric softeners are going to help a lot with static electricity and the buildup of it. But yeah, it's a nuisance. It creates a lot of headaches. But these cold temperatures like we've had the last week, there's not a whole lot you can do short of just adding a lot of moisture to the air in your home.
Yeah, LaDonna mentioned the sheets, the static, for getting rid of static. So I guess, but isn't there something also about using those in a dryer could also hurt the dryer?
No, I don't know that it hurts the dryer. You see people say that there's a problem with that it damages fibers. I don't know. We're a fabric, sheet family, always have been. So I don't know of any damage that's occurred to clothing. But yes, I know that there are people who won't use it with delicate fabrics because it can leave a stain. I think that's the biggest problem, is the possible staining. But those dryer sheets are going to help lower the level of static charges that are in your clothes.
Yeah, it sounds like a humidifier might also help too.
Humidifier,
house
absolutely.
humidifier. Yeah,
right, exactly.
Got it. A reminder, if you would like to see the replay on this, LouisvilleAnswers.com. Also, you'd like to read some of the reviews that we're very proud of, because you might be thinking in 2026 or even now to list your home, go to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com. Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices, questions for you. And in 10 years of doing this, plus 10 years plus doing this radio show, this is the first time we had this question. Haley owns property in Jefferson County and explains in this email that her neighbor has a couple of fruit trees growing along his property line. She says this past summer, some of the branches of the fruit trees were hanging over Haley's property. And she's wondering, she didn't do it, but she's wondering for next spring and summer, who owns the fruit growing on the branches that are on her side of the property? That's a
Well,
really
there
good
you
question.
go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's her fruit. I mean, it's on her property. The fact that it overhangs is what does that for her. It's kind of analogous to, if there's damage. If you see property or the limb overhanging your property and it's breaking, et cetera, you need to take care of it, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, if that branch is over her property, enjoy yourself an apple.
Okay. So, and no problems. Should she talk
Yeah.
to the neighbor first and say, hey, it's over my property. I just want to be able to let you know I'm going to take some of these? No?
I'm always fond of neighbors talking to each other.
Yeah.
That can't hurt. But in fact, fruit falling onto her property, that's hers.
Good to know.
And
Yeah.
just having been a former picker of apples in a variety of orchards in central New York, I can tell you, you wait for it to drop.
Oh, hold on. You opened up a apple of world. So wait, you picked these for a living? You were an apple picker?
A living, money.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
interesting.
Plus, you go to orchards, and New York has huge numbers of apple orchards. They're the number 2 dairy producing state. I used to work on a farm and with dairy cows and all that kind of stuff. So,
and why wait for them to drop? But you got
they're
my
ripe.
turn.
They're ripe.
Oh, those are the ones that are ripe. Okay.
Right. You always
Got
grab
it.
the
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah,
you go to the you pick apple places and you
Yeah.
grab one off the tree. It's, you may not be ripe. But
Yeah.
you wait for it to drop. Don't let it sit there long, just let it drop and it's ready to go.
Yeah. Newton did that.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, he did. All right. Thank you, Brett. I'm glad you got that. All right. So let's move over to Brett Lawler, Home Team Inspection Service. By the way, if you are thinking of selling your home, we've got a free, no obligation booklet we can mail to you. Several hundreds of tips, right? Selling tips. Send it to bob@wesellouisville.com. And if you are curious about what a home inspection entails, if you're going to sell your home, our friends, Brad Lawler, Home Team, put together a booklet for that as well. And just send me an email as well, bob@wesellouisville.com, and put inspections in the subject line. I'll send that out to you as well. Brad Lawler, Dylan sent us an email, and he says he's got an older home, bought a new electric smoker last month to smoke a turkey. And he says he tried out the smoker, which is on his deck outside the kitchen. And I guess this was 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden the lights in the kitchen started flickering. Mm-hmm. He checked the breakers, nothing wrong, and all appeared to be working. He says if there's a problem because he's planning on selling his home, should he check this out? Is there something he needs to know about with the flickering and the fact that he's got a electric smoker or something that uses a lot of electricity, Brent?
What's happened is that outlet on the deck is probably connected to the GFCIs in the kitchen because those outdoor outlets are typically GFCI. They're connected to the kitchen. And so when he's using that big electrical draw off that electrical smoker, that's probably what's causing the lights to flicker. What I would do is I would definitely suggest that he contacts an electrician just to make sure you've got one thing that if you've got a bad breaker and the breaker can't trip, or can't reset itself, something like, some of those Federal Pacific panels that we've talked about in the past where they simply won't reset or they won't trip, then you have a fire risk at that point. So the flickering lights would definitely cause me to just have an electrician come out, take a look at it, see if it's a breaker issue, see whether there's a problem potentially with one of the GFCI outlets. Either of those are going to be easy fixes, and you definitely want to deal with that before you put the home on the market.
Right. Good information. We're going to take a break. When we come back, winter emergency supplies for your house and your car. Is sticking with us. Chuck Crosby, the head guy at the Crosby Law Offices, where they do a great job at real estate closings and more. You can reach Chuck at 499-6360. Also staying with us, Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service and Team Bug Out. Get your home inspected. And if you need somebody to get rid of some bugs, the Brad and his group are the people to call. 844-411-TEAM. And if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the future, I'd love to help you. No home too big, no home too small. You can reach me anytime on my cell phone, 376-5483. That's 376 Live. Or go to bobsellslouisville.com. We're back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS. News Radio 840 WHAS, Bob Sokoler, Louisville Real Estate Show, here with you to the top of the hour and staying with us. Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service. They come in as a team, and they do a great job getting your home inspected, whether it's new or a resale home. You want to get it inspected before purchase. And you can reach Brad for that and for Team Bug Out to get rid of your pests if you've got bugs of any type. You can call 844-411-TEAM. to get Brad out there and his group. Also, get your home closed. Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices, not only does he do closings, he does wills and a variety of other things, including commissioner sales. Seasoned investors need to contact Chuck as well. He's a great guy. He's got a lot of information. You can reach him at 499-6360. Thinking of selling your home now or in 2026 or beyond? Call me. I'm free, no obligation. I'll come out, we'll talk, discuss the process, and you can pick it up from there. If you like it, you can go forward. If not, no problem. You can reach me on my cell phone. It's me. I come out 376-5483. That's 376 Live, or go to bobsellslouisville.com. Fill out the information and click submit. All right, guys, it's been cold this past week with that snow. So I'm wondering, what do we have? What do we need for winter emergency supplies that we should keep both in our car and our house? Here's a quick list, and I think some of these are a no-brainer, but some of these might have not thought of. Stock your home and car with these things before the next blizzard. Blankets and hand warmers. Make sure they're charged, by the way, on those hand warmers. Non-perishable food and water, 3-day supply. Flashlights, batteries, portable charger, which is important. First aid kit and meds. Ice melt, shovel, kitty litter for traction if your car gets stuck, and a full tank of gas if you can. Keep it at least on the half or more during the winter months, plus an emergency car kit. And you can now buy through Amazon and a number of places those electric, they actually are big batteries. I don't have a name for them. They're a brick, and you can plug your phones in. They have multiple charges, and they run a variety of things for a number of hours. So those are some of the things that are suggested. And in the event that the storm knocks out power, which is always possible, make sure that you got some sort of emergency guidelines with the family, what you need to do, where you need to go, what the plan should be in advance rather than doing it on the fly. Guys, you want to add anything to that list of supplies?
No, but I do have a question, Bob.
Yeah.
How about for folks that drive EVs? Are there any precautions that an EV driver can or should be taking?
No, one of the nice things about, I have an EV, people know this, you can use the power supply in some of the cars to actually run things in your house, because there is limits, and you need to read and find out from the manufacturer, but you can use that. And you do need to be careful. You don't want to run over high snow beds because the battery's at the bottom. You don't want to damage. So and most of the time we haven't seen much snow to that level. But if you remember in 1994, we had 26 inches,
24 inches,
24 inches. Yeah. So that'd be a problem for an electric car to try to move that, because it could damage. There are shields under there, but could damage it. So good question, though.
Yeah.
All right. Chuck Crosby Law Office. Cameron says she found the perfect house. It's a condo in a condo complex in the Louisville area. In the email she sent, she says the problem is that they have a no pet rule. And she's wondering, if she purchases the condo, can she appeal and have that rule overturned?
Can she appeal and have the rule overturned?
Yes.
Yes, you can, as long as you get all of the members to have a vote and get a quorum and do all that. So the quick answer is, well, of course, if you get everybody together and everybody agrees, you can have those things done. However, I would never bet on getting it done after the fact as opposed to before the fact. Talk to them, see what they're likely to do. Is it a service animal? Because there's different rules that apply to that as well. So yeah, that's something. If coming from a huge animal loving family, not being able to take the cats to the new home would be a serious issue. So get it resolved ahead of time.
Chuck, service animal you mentioned. What about an
Yeah.
emotional support animal? Is that the same thing?
Uh, there's arguments that they are. I don't know how much weight that carries. I'm betting that it would not be difficult to paper it so that it becomes a service animal. I know that there have been some places that are pushing back on it, but I can name three organizations just in the western part of Kentucky that would be more than happy to take that issue up as a violation of a variety of acts.
All right. So, Cameron, we'll give you Chuck's number out at the end of the show. So take that down if you want to reach out to him and get some more information on those service companies or the companies that he's mentioning. A reminder, if you want to see what sellers are saying about us, we do these interviews at the closings. Head to LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. That's LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. All right, Brett Lawler, Home Team Inspection Service. Lee, planning to sell her house in the next couple of months. She has a problem, though. Her basement has a leak on the opposite side of where her sump pump is. She's had several companies come out, and one suggested a French drain, another suggested some sort of waterproofing tile to lay down inside the basement to prevent the water from coming up. I'm not sure if waterproofing tile, I've never heard of that before. She's not sure which way to turn. You got any suggestions, Brad?
Well, in those cases, normally what I see is the French drain installed, whether they're using the waterproof panels to divert the water down into the French drain. But French drain is the most typical thing that I've seen. So again, without seeing it, without knowing exactly, what the issue is and how much water's coming in. Because one of the things when, I have, and I've said this before, I have a bunch of cracks in my basement walls, and I think I've got 22 repairs down there, and the repairs have been 100% effective. I just have had a few additional cracks that have come up. So sometimes just a crack repair through a competent company is all you need versus going in and putting in the panels and adding the French drain and everything else. But it also depends on how you're managing water out front. If you're able to move water away from your house, or if the way that the land slopes, there's no way to channel it away, then you may be stuck with having to do the French drain either inside or outside.
Did you also use an epoxy injection when you did?
Yeah, all mine were epoxy injected. Crack fill, yes.
And they make the concrete even stronger than when it was originally poured, which is good.
Exactly. And every one of them is guaranteed for life. So I've not had
depending
any of them
upon
fail.
the company you use, right?
Correct. Yes, and I've not had any of them fail over all the years that I've lived here. So
two things I'm going to add to this, Brad. One on this is you need to make sure that you've got downspout extenders from your gutters. Right? Because the number one reason that I see whenever I go out to a house and someone says they've got a water penetration problem, because we're looking to resell, we want to see what we can do to cure the problem. And that is the downspouts end at the house. The water just pools there, right?
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing is new construction. They use those pop-up drains that pop up out in the middle of the yard.
Yeah.
The problem is many of those new homes have those buried underneath the sod. they come lay the sod after they do the
Oh,
final landscaping,
yeah.
and so they're buried, and so it just puts the pressure back. The water is nowhere to go, and it basically just fills up and starts pouring out of downspouts.
That's a really good tip. So, folks, if you bought new construction, I did last year, look for the downspouts, look to see where they go into the ground, and then look for an exit, a pop up that should be 5, 10, 15 feet away where the water actually comes on. And if you don't see it, because I didn't see it earlier this year, so I called the builder and he sent this guy over, and Nico looks into, oh, it's under this grass right here.
Under the sod, right?
Under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So we dug it up, and sure enough, the other thing I want to tell you about, and this is bizarre, but you need to know, you need to check your neighbor's house. Now, don't go on the land, but see if the neighbor has put a downspout extension, and if that extension is pointed towards your house or your driveway, that could also be the culprit behind a new leak that you're noticing. Okay.
Yep.
Just letting you know from the experience, 21 years on it, see a lot of this stuff. Chuck Crosby Law Office. I think this is going to be the last question. We've changed the name of the following person, and you'll see why. I received an email from, we'll call him Kelsey, real estate agent here in Louisville. Kelsey says, as per regulations, he asks buyers, which is all new in the past year and a half, to sign a showing agreement before showing a home. Now, Kelsey says last week, a buyer said to him, I've seen several homes already with other agents, and no one else has asked me to sign a showing agreement. And Kelsey says, is anybody out there testing agents to see if they're living up to what is now required? And what are the penalties if agents are not requiring signing a showing agreement? I'm not sure you can answer this one, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, I don't know that I can answer that. I do get feedback from realtors about things that they run into. I don't think I've ever heard of that problem. I mean, I imagine it has to be happening, but just because somebody else isn't doing it doesn't mean you shouldn't. I mean, that's just obvious. And the penalties, if something comes up that you're supposed to be doing as an agent and you aren't doing it, well, first off, your broker is going to get pretty irritable. And plus the board could, make fines or charges, get your name in the newsletter. You don't want that.
Not to mention, I wouldn't be so surprised if the board starts sending people out to test to see if buyer agents are requiring that an agency
Does the board actually do that?
I don't think anybody knows at this point.
Okay.
And if they do, they're not telling us. Yeah.
The folks that take on discrimination and whatnot, they will do that. They will, have people call up, tenant landlords and that sort of stuff. But I always wondered if the board would, in fact, do that.
I know. And certainly I wouldn't want anybody who's listening to us who's a real estate agent to be a test case as to what happens. But folks, we have been now charged with this responsibility of having a buyer agent agreement signed prior to showing even one house. And if it's just one house, there's one agreement. If you want to see more homes with a variety of, with one agent with a variety of weeks involved, there's another form. But just know it can be very taxing for both the buyer and for the seller and for the agent, or everybody involved. It's all.
You got to do it, because if you don't, I mean, that's a pretty obvious
violation. It's a violation
and if somebody reports it or you get caught, well, you're just not going to have your paperwork in a row, and you're going to run amok.
Very much so. Very good. All right. So we are out of time. So a reminder, if you'd like to get in contact with Chuck Crosby Law Office, real estate at closings, wills, healthcare, surrogate help, powers of attorney, you can reach Chuck anytime at 499-6360. And if you need your home inspected, whether it's new, which we suggest you do have a home inspection, and or resale, we do suggest that. And if you have any need for some sort of team that will come in and get rid of pests, little pesky pests, you can reach Brad for Home Team Inspection Service and Team Bug Out at 844-411-TEAM. And if you're thinking of selling your home, no home too big, no home too small, you can call me free, no obligation. I'll come out. It's me. We talk and we'll review what the process is. 376-5483 or 376-LIVE is my number. Or go to bobsellslouisville.com. Fill out the form, and for a free estimate of what your home is worth immediately via our AI computer, go to WeSellLouisville.com, click on the top of the page, and hit the information and submit. Next week, Christmas lights cost how much? The shocking bill that may be coming to your home that's draining wallets this year and how to avoid it. We'll tell you about that. We're out of time. See you next Sunday on News Radio 840 WHAS.